One day, I was flipping through some old books at a junkyard when I found a piece of paper that looked worn out. It had a web of jagged lines on it. There were also some words written here and there in an unknown language. I bought the book and came home, but when I did not understand the meaning of these words and lines, I showed this paper to my friends. Khalid looked at the paper upside down and said, "This looks like a map." Khalid spread the map on the table and sat down and looked at these words and lines carefully. After 20 minutes, he raised his head and said, "This is a map of some buried treasure." Acid asked, "Mr. Map Expert, tell me where this autumn is buried?" Khalid said, "To the north of here is a dense forest. There is a hill in the forest, and at the foot of this hill is a cave. This treasure is in this cave. If you want to get the treasure, I can take you there." We got ready immediately. We quickly arranged some food, some tools, etc., and got into the car and set off in search of the treasure. We chose Khalid as our leader during this expedition. He sat in the front seat with Acid and was showing us the way by looking at the map. After covering a long journey, we reached the forest. Khalid said, "This is the forest. Stop the car, we have to go on foot." We picked up our food and tools and walked into the forest on foot. Our feet got tired while walking. Seeing a river at one place, Khalid signaled us to stop and said, "Lub hai, eat something, drink and rest, then we will move forward." We sat there, the tiffin was open, the table was laid. After eating a hearty meal, we also ate fruits and sweets and lay down on the grass, but after a while Khalid woke us up, saying, "We did not come here to rest, we have to complete our mission." We stood up cursing Khalid and then the journey began. As soon as we came out of a clump of trees, a hill was visible in front, in which there was a cave. The mouth of the cave was hidden in the bushes and trees, but Khalid's sharp eyes found it. We lit a torch and made a path and entered the dark cave. Animal bones were scattered everywhere. Glitter was hanging upside down on the ceiling. Seeing us, they started to stir. They started flying here and there. We moved forward, avoiding them. "There is no treasure here," Ahmed said while looking around. "The treasure is buried here. We have to dig it out," Khalid said. As soon as we heard this, our hands trembled that we would have to dig through such rocky ground, but in the greed of the treasure, we were ready to do this too. First, Acid took a hammer and started digging the rocky ground. The entire cave echoed with his voice. Just a few stones had been broken when we saw a black monster at the mouth of the cave. We were shocked. When we saw it, a black bear was probably entering the cave by sniffing us. We were badly trapped. The cave was closed behind, and the bear was standing in front. Due to the light coming from the light, the bear's eyes were not yet able to see properly in the darkness. Khalid shouted, "Attack the bear." I picked up the shovel, went forward and hit the bear on the head. The bear got angry after being hurt. He swung his arms around violently. Khalid was hit by this blind blow and fell far away. Acid jumped up and picked up the hammer and ran towards the bear, but he tripped over a stone and fell close to the bear. Muffled screams were coming from Azad's mouth my head and hit the bear on the back. The bear let go of Acid and turned towards me outside the pit. The sounds of the bear's growling were constantly coming. Then, after a while, silence fell. My friends were gone, and the bear was looking for us in anger. He saw me. He moved towards me. When he came close to the pit, I filled both hands with sand and threw it at his mouth. The sand filled the bear's eyes, mouth, and nose. He sat on the ground, rubbed his eyes, and started coughing. Seizing the opportunity, I ran outside. "Wait, we are also coming," my friends called from behind. They were also hiding there. After coming out of the cave, we ran so fast that we could only breathe after sitting in the car. There was no mention of a bear in the map. So where did it come from? Khalid said in surprise. "This is the bear that protects the treasure," Ahmed said, and we laughed out loud. In the greed for the treasure, we had lost our tools and other belongings, and our dream of becoming rich overnight had gone to pieces.